morning, STEM World. I'm Donza Price, and I'm with Ian, and we're broadcasting live from New York City, STEM Group 3. We've been highlighting a gone wrong shipwreck off the coast of Indonesia to where a trader has stolen a treasured map.
We have had a mystery on our hands this week. The scholars in this room are the crew of the mighty ship, the Envisioneer. While in search of an ancient treasure, we were marooned in an island and a key part of our navigational map went missing. Of the entire crew, we considered 4 suspects. Today you will hear the evidence collected against Dr. Smart and Shipwright Neff.
This week we learned how to diagnose and treat various injuries and illnesses. Dr. Smart examined a few crew members who appeared to have fractured or sprained limbs.
We discovered many different fracture types one can encounter in the wilderness.
Simple fracture, closed fracture, commutative fracture, and open fracture.
We were able to assist the injured crew by using splints and slings to immobilize the injury. Now let's take a closer look on how we save lives and limbs by using splints.
My arm is broken. Dr. Jasmine, help.
Okay. There you go. Your arm should feel much better.
Thank you, Dr. Jasmine. Thank you, Dr. Jasmine. It feels better already.
You're welcome.
Dr. Smart detected a crew member who looked lethargic. She was exhibiting shortness of breath and wheezing. We concluded one of her lungs had collapsed. We immediately knew how to solve the problem by stabilizing her lungs.
The respiratory system is a series of organs responsible for taking in oxygen and expelling carbon dioxide.
The respiratory system composes of esophagus, cilia, mucus, alveoli, trachea, bronchi, lungs, and diaphragm.
We created a lung model to exhibit our understanding of the respiratory system. Here we see the diaphragm at the bottom. We see the chest cavity and the lung itself.
This week we learned about engineering and the skills needed to build and code a robot.
An engineer is a person who makes things work. During this week, we created complex machines. We created M-bots.
We used our M-bots to help locate lost crewmates from the shipwreck. We used an app called MakeBlock to help with our deserted island challenges.
Now we will show you how we used our M-bots to help find our lost crewmates.
The cardiovascular system helps circulate blood throughout our bodies.
The blood that flows through our bodies brings oxygen to all of our cells, which helps our bodies stay healthy.
This week we dissected a calf's heart. We examined the heart and labeled each part.
The different parts of the calf heart
The different parts of the calf's heart we discovered are the aorta, the vena cava, the pulmonary artery, the pulmonary vein, the right atrium, the left ventricle, and the right ventricle. In conclusion, we discovered a fun fact. A calf's heart is bigger than a human's.
During the investigation, a patient was bit by a snake. In order to treat the patient, we need to figure out what type of snake bit her.
There are 2 types of venomous snakes in the area. 1 neurotoxic and 2 hemotoxic. The effects neurotoxins have on the body are slurred speech, double vision, and extremely weak muscles.
The effects of hemotoxin have on the body are swelling, bleeding at bite site, and bruising.
In conclusion, we discovered a fun fact. You can define a snake by the shape of its pupil.
We're the RCM group, and we've been analyzing the blood drops from the scene of the crime. We discovered that the blood spatter diameter varies in size depending on the height at which it falls from.
Although the difference between the blood spatters were small, it made a huge difference in our case. That's why the forensic scientists were going to look it over for evidence.
We took the average of everyone's blood by adding all 3 trials and then dividing it by 12, 30, and 66 inches.
In conclusion, we discovered the higher the blood drops, the bigger spatter. Here's our evidence.
We identified an unknown substance
That treats sunburns and cuts.
Oh, Dr. Obama, help! I have a big cut and it's bleeding so much!
It's okay. I apply this mystery powder substance that's called cornstarch. Now eat some chicken noodle soup and rest for 2 hours.
Thank you, Dr. Obama. It feels so much better.
You're welcome.
Today we will discuss the fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Now we will use the cocoa powder found on the ship to dust the fingerprints. Now we will retrieve the fingerprints. These fingerprints belong to Dr. Smart.
Based on all our evidence our STEM group has submitted, we believe that Dr. Smart and Chipwright Neff are guilty of stealing the ancient map.
Take it away, Ian.
That's all, folks. Make sure you check the app STEM.com and you will keep you updated. Good night, STEM world.